Places of interest. The volcano of light. Near the center of the explorable area on this level stands a volcano. It is encased in glass on all sides and cannot be accessed. No one has managed to break the glass. The glass is about 2.5 meters high, and above it is a wall approximately 0.5 meters thick. The volcano erupts regularly every few hours, with each eruption lasting up to 20 minutes, however. Instead of lava, it emits light. This light has a mesmerizing effect on people, inducing such a profound sense of relaxation in the observer that few have been able to tear their gaze away from it. It has been proven that regularly observing this light has a healing effect on both the mind and the body. Most groups of travelers have set up camp in its vicinity. Ocean. In one of the large rooms heading east, you can find a door with a carved shell and a bone on its surface. Upon entering the room behind this door, you find yourself in an area comprising 3 square kilometers of land at the entrance and an unexplored ocean. It is the only room so vast that it could not be measured. At the time of discovery, a group of reclaimed travelers was there, unable to leave because the door with the shell was locked from the other side, and all attempts to open it had failed. The reclaimed. This is a camp created by people who were once trapped in the void. Most of them told a similar story. While in despair within the void, they began to reminisce about the good old days. Suddenly, they felt their surroundings change. It became cold and dense. A light appeared above them. As they tried to move toward it, the surroundings grew denser, and suddenly they found themselves in water. They had emerged from a hole at the bottom of the ocean. Fortunately, it was a shallow spot and close to land. That is how they became stranded on this level. Holes in this ocean was discovered only at a depth of about 15 meters. The ocean is the only place found on this level where most animals are not made of metal. Swimming deeper into the ocean, one can occasionally find floating furniture, most often 20 meters below the water's surface. The ocean has not been explored any deeper. No one knows if there is anything beyond the ocean, as, due to its size, no one has yet decided to venture that far into it. Greenhouses. Greenhouses are scattered throughout the level. These are the only non-Euclidean spaces found here. Each greenhouse looks different, and most of them are about 15 meters long on the outside. Upon entering, you'll find yourself in a maze of corridors. The walls are not transparent from the inside, but they still let light in from outside. No one has managed to destroy the greenhouse walls. Moving through the greenhouses is dangerous. One of the hazards is an infinitely burning fire that can appear on bare ground, and sometimes fiery balls can hang in the air. Not every temperature anomaly is clearly visible, which can catch travelers off guard, but so far none of the less visible anomalies have proven to be highly dangerous, though they have resulted in painful burns. These anomalies have never been observed to change their location. But what makes them dangerous is that they always heat the space they occupy with the same intensity, regardless of what material is present there. For example, if someone puts a hand protected by a suit into such an anomaly, their hand will quickly begin to heat up from the inside, making the burn much more severe and deep. The greenhouses are interconnected, which can be used to significantly reduce travel time on this level by as much as hundreds of kilometers. The process of establishing safe routes is currently underway. If you venture too deep into the greenhouse maze, you may reach the shadow zone. This is an area that grows increasingly darker the further you go. Although no casualties have been reported so far, entering this zone is not recommended. Some reported hearing wild roars behind the walls of that section, and feeling as though something was moving behind them. In the greenhouses, you can find a wide variety of edible plants typical of this type of structure, Unfortunately, the ones here are made of painted styrofoam. The corrupted zone. The corrupted zone is located in the far north of the explored area of this level. It is characterized by purple grass. The change in the color of the vegetation is abrupt. A species called Rima lives there. Rima is a creature resembling a monstrous farmer. These beings live in close-knit communities, and for every community there is a second being, a Mara. Maras live in holes in the center of the Rima camps, and the Rima seem to fear them. Rima attack anything they see as long as it is within the corrupted zone, and they absolutely refuse to venture even a short distance outside of it, even to catch their prey. The moment they manage to catch or kill something, they carry it to the Mara's hole. You can sometimes see the Maras sticking out of the holes. The only part of them visible is a collection of various animal limbs attached to their tentacles. These can be the limbs of birds, dogs, cats, armadillos, bears, or monkeys, and sometimes even humans. Myris sometimes give the Rems strange objects filled with liquid. The Rems use this to cultivate their plants. The Rems also create structures resembling buildings from what appears to be dismantled furniture. Sneaking through these creatures' camp is impossible. The Marys always know when someone is approaching and emit a moan that alerts the Rems to the intruder. The Marys are likely able to detect the vibrations in the ground caused by the footsteps of travelers with great precision. That is all that has been determined about these beings. The details of their way of life remain unknown, as few have ventured into their territory and survived. The alive tractor Carrick is a tractor that named itself. It is located about 30 kilometers from the volcano of light. Although its appearance unsettles most people, it is incredibly friendly. On its front, it has protruding human eyes suspended on something resembling mirrors, and where a driver would normally be, there are pulsating internal organs, including a heart. Despite his terrifying appearance, it is very kind and helpful. He had a symbiotic relationship with a species of wheat found only in his fields. It can secrete an enzyme that allows this wheat to grow, and in return, it feeds on the harvest. This wheat contains significant amounts of fuel in its structure, making it suitable for practical use. Carrick produces the enzyme by absorbing nearby plants and processing them. He has agreed to share his harvest with the nearby outpost, and in return, the outpost helps him with these crops by supplying plants suitable for enzyme production and spraying parts of the fields. Although the amount of these supplies is not small, it is nevertheless limited, as only Carrick is capable of producing the enzyme needed for their growth. Entrances and exits. Entrances. The entrance is located in the Level 11 city on Room Street. You can find it by following the address plates to the west of the capital. It is a well, and there is a passage inside it. The well glows every few hours. The glow is timed to coincide with the eruptions of the light volcano on the level, IWR. But here the well glows for up to 5 minutes after the eruption begins. You can also pass through when the well is not glowing. Travelers who see this light will feel an irresistible urge to jump into the well. The passage is two-way. Exits. You can exit this level using the same well used for entry. Most of the giant household appliances have passages to other levels, and it's impossible to list them all. Giant refrigerators lead to cold levels, ovens to hot levels, and cabinets most often to levels containing kitchens. Doors with a red forest behind them have not yet been found, but they likely exist somewhere and also serve as an exit. However, it has not been determined which level they lead to. Discovery. Information about the level, IWR, was obtained by the MEG group, which was tasked with mapping a safe route through the caves on Level 8. During the expedition, They received an SOS signal on their equipment and found a seriously injured traveler, whom they took back to base and rescued. The traveler had no communication devices. Information found in the traveler's journal led to the discovery of the entrance to level IWR.